یا اسلام کے لیے قربانی دینے والی ام المؤمنین صدیقہ کائنات ہوں، آپ دونوں کا ذکر سنیں گے، ایمان کو تازگی ملے گی۔ اس کا سبب جو بدر کا کیا بنا ہے، یاسر بھائی تشریف لا رہے ہیں، یہ ایک جملہ سن لیں، میں آپ کو کہنا چاہتا ہوں کہ یہ سبب کیا بنا۔ مظالم ڈھائے گئے مسلمانوں کے اوپر، اتنا ظلم ہوا مسلمانوں کے اوپر، کہاں بلال حبشی ہوں، حضرت خبیب ہوں، جن کو کہا جاتا ہے کہ خبیب، حضرت عثمان غنی ہوں، مسلمان ہوئے تو چچا نے رسی سے باندھ کر ان کو اتنا مارا کہ لو لبان کر دیا۔ یہ تو ہمیں آسانی سے اسلام مل گیا نا، یہ وادی بدر میں جنہوں نے قربانی دی، یہ سبب کیا بنے؟ حضرت بلال حبشی کو تپتی ہوئی زمین پر ظالم لٹا دیتے ہیں اور پتھر سینے پر رکھ دیتے ہیں اور کہتے ہیں صرف احد احد کہنا بند کر دو۔ بلال کہتے ہیں جان دے دوں گا، محمد کا نام نہیں چھوڑوں گا، اسلام کا نام نہیں چھوڑوں گا۔ وہ بلال حبشی، یہ سارے سبب بنے۔ اور پھر جب ابھی تک اسلام میں حضرت امیر حمزہ نہیں آئے، چچا تو ہے نبی کریم صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم کے لیکن اسلام میں نہیں آئے، وہ خون تھا، وہ نسب کا رشتہ جو تھا نا، وہ نسبی رشتہ وہ بھی زور مارتا تھا۔ کسی نے جا کر کہا امیر حمزہ تم یہاں بیٹھے ہوئے ہو، تمہیں معلوم نہیں ہے تمہارے بھتیجے محمد کو کوئی چیز ابو جہل نے مار دی، ان کو زخمی کر دیا ہے۔ حضرت امیر حمزہ حضور کی بارگاہ میں جانے کے بجائے سیدھے ابو جہل کے گھر چلے گئے اور بغیر پوچھے ہوئے جا کر کمان اتنی زور سے اس کے سر پہ ماری کہ اس کو زخمی کر دیا۔ اور یہ جوش و خروش لے کر حضور کی بارگاہ میں حاضر ہوتے ہیں، کہتے ہیں اے میرے بھتیجے، کیونکہ بھتیجے کہتے تھے نا، ابھی تو نبی مانا ہی نہیں تھا، کہ ہے بھتیجے آج میں نے تیرا بدلہ اتار دیا ہے، میں نے ابو جہل کو اتنا زور سے مارا ہے کہ اس کا خون سر سے نکال دیا، میں نے سر پھاڑ دیا اس کا۔ اب وہ جب چاہتے تھے کہ محمد خوش ہوں گے صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم کہ تو نے اچھا کیا، میرا بدلہ لے لیا، میرے دشمن کو مار دیا، اس کا خون نکال دیا۔ رحمت للعالمین بن کر آنے والے نبی کریم صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم نے فرمایا اے میرے چچا، اگر تم محمد کو خوش کرنا چاہتے ہو تو کلمہ پڑھ کر مسلمان ہو جاؤ۔ سبحان اللہ، نعرہ تکبیر، نعرہ رسالت، نعرہ حیدری، نعرہ محمد امین چشتی صاحب۔ یہ ہے وہ اخلاق مصطفیٰ صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم۔ اس بات پر خوش نہیں ہوئے کہ یہ ابھی اسلام میں تو آئے نہیں، میرا بدلہ لیا تو اپنی جگہ پہ ہے، لیکن میں یہ چاہتا ہوں کہ میرا چچا بھی جنت میں جائے۔ اور یہ بدلہ لینے کے بجائے میں تو ذاتی طور پر بدلہ لینے والا ہوں ہی نہیں، مجھے تو اللہ نے سراپا رحمت بنا کر بھیجا ہے۔ تو یہ جنگ پھر کیوں ہوئی؟ جنگ ان کے اوپر مسلط کی گئی ہے اور بڑے دھوکے اور بڑے فریب کے ساتھ، لیکن مجاہدین نے کیسی قربانی دی یہ انشاءاللہ وقت پر آپ سنیں گے۔ تو ہمارے بھائی یاسر عطاری صاحب تشریف لاتے ہیں۔ الصلاۃ والسلام علیکہ یا سیدی یا رسول اللہ وعلی آلہ وصحبہ اجمعین۔
الحمدللہ رب العالمین والصلاة والسلام علی سید المرسلین، اما بعد فاعوذ باللہ من الشیطان الرجیم، بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم۔ پڑھیے پلیز recite after me brothers۔ الصلاة والسلام علیکہ یا رسول اللہ وعلی آلک واصحابک یا حبیب اللہ۔ الصلاة والسلام علیکہ یا نبی اللہ وعلی آلک واصحابک یا نور اللہ۔ Please recite the following intention. نویت سنت الاعتکاف. Its meaning is I make the intention of nafli sunnat al-i'tikaf. It is mentioned in a blessed hadith, Niyatul mu'mini khayrun min amalihi. An intention of a believer is better than his action. Some flowers regarding this. There is no reward for good action without the good intention. The more good intentions you make, the more reward you will earn. Intention should be made truly from the heart, qalb. Most important of all, intention should be for the gaining and seeking and achieving sawab, for the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal. My dear Islamic brothers, in order to increase our sawab, let's make the following intentions. For the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, I will be gaining the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal by seeking ilm deen, inshaAllah Azza wa Jal. After acquiring knowledge from the ijtima, from the bayan, from this method, I will convey it to others as neki ki da'wat, inshaAllah Azza wa Jal. I will attend this method from beginning to the end and listen to the bayan with full concentration from beginning to end, inshaAllah Azza wa Jal. My dear Islamic brothers, come closer. Please come closer. Please come closer. In respect of the bayan, sit in the folded leg position as you sit in namaz. If you get tired and sit in any comfortable position, lower your gaze and listen to the bayan with full concentration. Because listening to it inattentively, looking here and there, playing on the floor with your finger or messing around with your clothes, body or hair may result in the removal of its blessings. Sayyidina Abu Darda radiallahu anhu narrates, the blessed Rasul, mercy of the entire mankind, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, said, whoever recites Darood upon me 10 times in the morning and 10 times in the evening shall gain my intercession on the day of judgment. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala. My dear Islamic brothers, what can we say about the blessings of Ramadan? No doubt it's every moment has a lot of mercies and blessings, but the most important thing in this blessed month is Laylatul Qadr. In order to find this night, our dear and beloved Makki Madni Mustafa sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam performed the Aitkaaf even for the whole of Ramadan Sharif, and used to do it especially in the last 10 days of Ramadan. Aitkaaf is an ancient form of worship which the earlier ummahs would also perform, as stated in part 1, Surah Al-Baqarah, Ayah 125 of the Holy Quran. Translation from Kanzul Iman. And we enjoined strictly upon Ibrahim and Ismail alayhi salam to purify well my house, for those who go around it and those who stay therein, for devotion and those who bow down and prostrate. Dear Islamic brothers, Allah Azza wa Jal has Himself commanded the Kaaba Sharif to be kept clean and pure for Salah and Aitkaaf. Mufti Ahmad Yar Khan alayhi rahmatul mannan, a renowned Quranic commentator, says, so we must keep Masjid clean and pure. Dirty and the bad smelling objects must be kept away from them. This is the sunnah of the Anbiya alayhimus salam. We also learn that Aitkaaf is the form of worship, and ruku and sujood were part of the earlier ummah's worships. Further, we learn that masjid should have caretakers and they should be pious. Sallu ala al-Habib. There is a great reward for the one who does Aitkaaf just for one day with sincerity, even in any other month of the year besides Ramadan. Persuading us to do Aitkaaf, our dear Makki Madni Mustafa, King of the universe, mercy of the whole mankind, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, said, whoever does Aitkaaf for the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal for one day, Allah Azza wa Jal shall place 3 trenches between him and hell, and these trenches will be wider than even the distance of the east and the west. Mothers of the believers, Sayyidatuna Aisha Siddiqa radiyallahu anha narrates the following fragrant saying of our beloved Makki Madni Mustafa, the ultimate intercessor, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Whoever did Aitkaaf with faith, in order to earn the reward of all his previous sins, will be forgiven. Sayyidina Ali karamallahu ta'ala wajhahu al-kareem narrates the following fragrant saying of the beloved Rasul of Allah Azza wa Jal wa sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. The one doing Aitkaaf for 10 days in Ramadan is like the one who performed Hajj and Umrah twice. Aitkaaf implies remaining in the masjid with the intention of Aitkaaf for Allah Azza wa Jal's pleasure. Sanctity and purity from janabat, major impurity, are conditioned for a Muslim. Puberty is not a condition. Even if a sensible child remains in a masjid with the intention of Aitkaaf, then his Aitkaaf will be valid. There are 3 types of Aitkaaf. 1 is wajib, number 2 is sunnah, and 3 is nafil. In a wajib Aitkaaf, it is necessary to vow, a mannat, to do Aitkaaf by saying, I will do the Aitkaaf on such and such day or so many days for Allah Azza wa Jalla. It will become wajib for you to do Aitkaaf for the number of the days that you mentioned. It is particularly important that whoever or any sort of vow, mannat, is made, pronouncing its words with the tongue is a condition. Just making the intention of a vow in the heart without pronouncing its words with tongue is insufficient, and fulfilling such a vow is not wajib, mentioned in Radatul Mukhtar. Men have to perform Aitkaaf in the masjid, whereas women must perform in the masjid of their home, called Masjidul Bayt. The place that a woman specifies for salah in her home is called Masjidul Bayt. fast is also a condition for such an itikaf. Itikaf in the last 10 days of Ramadan is sunnat mu'akkada al-kifaya. This means that if any one person throughout the city does itikaf, it will be sufficient for everyone. But if nobody did it, then everyone is blameworthy. According to Bahari Shariat, part 5, page 152. In this itikaf, it is necessary to get to the masjid with the intention of itikaf before the sun sets on the 20th of Ramadan, and stay there until the moon appears on the 29th and the sun sets on the 30th. If you enter the masjid after the 20th of Ramadan, the sunnah and mu'akkada of itikaf will remain unfulfilled. Further, even if you entered the masjid before sunset but forgot to make the intention, there was no intention in the heart at all, still the sunnah and mu'akkada of itikaf will remain unfulfilled. If you make the intention after sunset, it will be a nafal itikaf. As part of the itikaf of nazar or sunnah and mu'akkada, any other type of itikaf is nafal. Sunnah and ghair mu'akkada itikaf. Fasting is not a condition for this itikaf, as there is no time limit for it either. Whenever you enter a masjid, make the intention of itikaf, you will earn the reward of itikaf as long as you remain in the masjid. Regardless of whether you recite or offer anything or not, as soon as you exit the masjid, this itikaf will end. Alhamdulillah, we made this intention by sunnah, nawaitu sunnat al-itikaf. My master, Allah Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi says, the fatwa is the fasting is not a condition for a nafal itikaf. It can be done for even a single moment. You should make the intention as soon as you enter the masjid. As long as you will remain there, you will get the reward of waiting and offering for salah. As long as with the reward of itikaf. He Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi says, whenever you enter a masjid, make the intention of itikaf, you will get the reward of itikaf as long as you are in the masjid. Making the intention of itikaf isn't difficult. Mention means intention of the heart, the willingness of the heart to do something. It is sufficient for you to make an internal intention in the heart as such, I intend to perform sunnah of itikaf. Pronouncing these words verbally along with the intention of the heart is better. You can pronounce it verbally in your own language. If you want, saying it in Arabic is better. Nawaitu sunnat al-itikaf. If you enter Masjid al-Nabawi Sharif, remember, by Shari, it is not allowed to eat or drink or sleep in the masjid. But if you make the intention of itikaf, you will be allowed to do these acts in the masjid. In the most of the masjids, here possible, recite Durood Sharif. Islamic brothers drink for blessings the water that has been blown with the Durood Sharif. No doubt this is a good deed, but if an Islamic brother hasn't made the intention of itikaf, then he cannot drink this water inside the masjid. Similarly, only those who have made the intention of itikaf can do iftar in a masjid. Even in the Masjid al-Haram Sharif, one should make the intention of itikaf before drinking Zamzam water. Doing iftar or sleeping likewise, you cannot drink water etc. without making the intention of itikaf in Masjid al-Nabawi Sharif. Allah sahib as-salatu was-salam. There are some basic, alhamdulillah azza wa jal, Dawat Islami is an international non-political religious movement of Quran and Sunnah. Organizes a collective itikaf, ijtimai itikaf in numerous cities around the world. The Central Majlis Shura provides a training schedule to be followed in this itikaf, which is a tarbiyati, which is an educational itikaf. Here is a list of the intentions of the following who wish to do the itikaf. Those doing individual itikaf can also enhance their reward by making the following intentions if possible for them. Niyatul mu'mini khayrun min amalihi. The intention of a believer is better than his action. Anyone who is intending to do itikaf, inshallah, should make these following intentions to increase his reward. Allah Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi formulated 40 intentions of itikaf. Number 1, I am going to do sunnah itikaf for the last 10 days of the entire month of Ramadan. Number 2, I shall adhere to these madni principles of tasawwuf. A, less eating. B, less speaking. C, less sleeping in the masjid. I shall perform all 5 daily salah in the first row with jamaat, with takbir ula. I shall reply to every azan and every iqamat. Every time I shall recite the prayer of Azan with Durood Sharif before and after. I shall perform the Nawafil of Tahajjud, Ishraq, Chast and Awwabin every day. I shall recite the Holy Quran and Durood Sharif abundantly on my Aqa sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. I shall recite or listen to the recitation of Surah Mulk every night. I shall perform Salatul Tasbih at least in the odd nights. I shall participate in the Sunnah-filled study circles and the speeches from beginning to the end. Making individual effort, I will make my relatives and visitors sit in the Sunnah-filled study circles too. I will have a matni lock on my tongue. In other words, I shall refrain from idle speech, and if possible, I shall carry out even necessary conversation by writing and gestures in order to avoid useless and evil speech and noise in the masjid. I shall protect the masjid from bad smells. I shall keep a plastic bag in the pocket to pick up any splinters or hair. Saying of the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, whoever removes a troublesome thing from the masjid, Allah Azza wa Jal will make a house for him in the paradise. I shall sleep only on my own shawl or mat, that the masjid floor is not stained from my sweat or saliva. I shall be very careful about double covering when sleeping, which is parde mein parda. When sleeping, it is appropriate to wrap a shawl around the trousers or then pull your blanket over the further covering. This should be kept in any other time anyway. I shall apply oil and comb my hair in wudu area of Finai Masjid and pick up the fallen strands of my hair. I shall not use others' things such as sandals. I shall not ask others for things such as sandals or mantle or pillows. I shall eat in the Finai Masjid or eat on the eating mat. I will never eat on the mats used for salah. If there is less food, I shall eat slowly with the intention of making sacrifice for others so that Islamic brothers can eat more. There is a great reward of sacrificing things for others. The Rasul of mankind, the peace of our heart and mind, the most generous and kind, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam said, whoever gives the thing that he needs himself, Allah Azza wa Jal shall forgive him. I shall have a madni lock on my stomach. In other words, I shall eat less than my hunger. If someone hurts my feelings, I will have patience and forgive him for the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal. I shall be polite towards my neighboring mu'takif. I shall obey my halqa nigaran or the masjid committee and the nigarans of the masjid. I shall do fikr Medina to fill in my madni in Ahmad card. Alhamdulillah Azza wa Jal, the sunnahs of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam are taught and learned in abundance in the Madni environment of Dafi Islami, an international non-political propagational movement of Quran and Sunnah. Please do attend the Dafi Islami Ijtimas which are held in your locality in Hounslow Jamia Masjid every Sunday. Make it a habit to travel in the Madni Qafilas with the Prophet's devotees and fill in your Madni in Ahmad card. Daily, doing Fikr Medina, hand it into the relevant responsible Islamic brothers of your area. Insha'Allah Azza wa Jal, with the blessing of this, we will develop the mindset of performing good deeds, avoiding sins and protecting our faith. Every Islamic brother should make the intention that I must try to rectify myself and the whole people of the entire world. Insha'Allah Azza wa Jal. May Allah Azza wa Jal give us istiqamat on what we've heard, on the intentions that we made, and if there's any mistakes that I made, may Allah Azza wa Jal forgive me.